Did you know that 78% of men don't approach women anymore? Here's why that's your advantage. Fear of rejection, fear of looking desperate or awkward, which means if you're the one guy who walks up, introduces himself, and can hold a conversation, you're not competing with anyone. So no, hot girls are not used to being approached. In fact, they are waiting on it.
I think she's about to sell something, but that's an interesting take. I feel like you should shoot your shot. I mean, there's ways to go about it, but there are some reasons why men, I think, don't shoot their shot. But before we get into that clip, one more. Let's see what.
Is it just me or do men not approach women anymore? I fucking hate dating apps. I do not want to get back on one. I'd like to meet someone IRL, in real life, in the wild. But this seems hard as hell because if you're someone who doesn't go out to bars, it seems like at bars, it's socially acceptable for like people to approach each other. But everywhere else, like, in a coffee shop or like in a restaurant or on the street, it seems like it's not like the norm anymore. Like, everyone just kind of minds their own business. And I don't know if this is just me or if this is just where I live. I live in kind of a small town. Or if it's like we've almost swung too far in the other direction.
It's not your fault, baby girl. A lot of men are not into the approach, and dating apps have made it easier to not even have to do that. Now, granted, there's a few men that are willing to go shoot their shot and approach, but a lot of men have seen a lot of negative responses. And granted, a hit dog hollers, so the worst of the worst have been shown online, and that could put a lot of fear into just good, genuine men that don't mind approaching, but they want to be respectful, and that's how the tide has changed. I personally think you should, if you see something, go for it. Now, granted, earphones on with a group of people, um, maybe with their family, not really giving you eye contact, maybe dressing in a manner of not wanting to be bothered. There's just subtle cues that some people don't have, but if you pay attention to those, not every woman is to be approached at every moment in time, but there's plenty of women that have open language. And granted, even if you're not attractive, quote unquote, there's plenty of other skills you can display that will get people to gravitate towards you. That's just something you have to cultivate within yourself. It takes time, but every single person has beautiful things about them. Especially as a man, if you're funny, if you know just subtle physical cues, don't approach facing at the person. Maybe if you're in the grocery store, go over the shoulder of yourself, not her. That's weird. But, you know, maybe not getting in her way of being able to move. There's just little things, little subtle things you learn over time that make it easier for you to communicate. And granted, you should just talk to more people in general, not trying to get what a person, get a phone number. Just say hi, communicate, give free compliments. It costs you nothing to make people feel good. And for some people, for most people, it shouldn't make you feel bad for giving compliments, even if you don't receive them. It's kind of like if you are confident, happy, grateful within yourself, that pours out of you. And it means nothing to say something to someone and keep it moving, keep it pushing. It could be an old person, it could be um, middle-aged person. Just give compliments, shoes, purse, color, eye color. Keep it moving. Nothing crazy.
Nothing pisses me off more than when a man that looks like the shit on the bottom of my shoe is like, hey, can I take you out? Now, I'm not going to say I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I know I ain't ugly.
And this is one of the reasons why women believe that men do not approach them anymore. Why men do not shoot their shot and ask women on dates anymore. You know you can reject a man without being rude, disrespectful, and harmful to somebody else's heart. You can sit there and tell someone respectfully, I'm not interested, but instead, you will do everything in your power to make that person feel as if they are insignificant. Just because somebody isn't attractive to you doesn't mean that they're not worthy of going after somebody.
He cooks. I like the way this dude communicates. This is a dope creator. Check him out. But these are the videos that discourage the good guys from communicating to women in public. It's just where you fall. And granted, you should have some type of self-awareness, but the rules can always be broken if you are willing to take that chance. Now, granted, I've been around some of the homies and I've seen some crazy disses. Women have rejected in some wild way. So it's even happened to me. So I understand that. But everything's a percentage game. And just like with anything in life, you're not going to get up to the mound and hit a home run the first time. You can, and I don't want to sound like that guy that's like, oh, you just get used to rejection, this, that, and the third, because that doesn't feel good. But you could add more leverage, and that could be, getting to the gym. But then we're getting into this field of doing things for women. And granted, we kind of do everything for women because pushing the species forward is part of the human condition, I would imagine. But I think you could work on yourself, make yourself feel good, and then deal with women who like you. But if you're in an area where there is no dating apps available, and when I say that, I'm talking about you're at an event, you see something you like, you should have that skill. You should work on that skill. And you shouldn't be afraid to fail in front of your friends. Because normally if you're out, you're probably out with your friends. And if you're not, you're out by yourself. You know what? Everyone takes L's. All men, we can all attest to like taking an L. It could be, may not be with women. It could be in multiple different other places. But it's okay. It happens to the best of us. Story time. I got a homie who is what society would say is attractive. Pause. And good height, good shape, dressed very well, and his ability and willingness to take L's is above anybody I've ever seen. In his mind, he's like, I just need one. It could be the whole night. He will take L's to the face nonstop, brush it off, and it's a special skill, but it's been practiced over time. And his win rate, if you think in that matter, and we're talking about getting numbers, dating. I don't know if this naturally turns into relationships, but it seems like from the first vid to now, it's more so the idea of hooking up or figuring out if you like this person. Because granted, there's a whole nother part of this that I'll get into, but your ability and his ability, and he is a man at a high level. He fits all of the standards, and he's still willing to take those L's. So there's hope out there if you're willing to deal with it. But yeah, let's go over some comments. I've seen some comments that are pretty funny. Let's check these out. Here we go. I will never approach. I mean, you got the right to do anything. I see a nice car. Hey, we're working on making it at least 90% before we start approaching again. Women stopped appreciating us and seeing our advances because of saturation. They started expressing that they wanted to be left alone, and that's exactly what we're doing until the scale tips back into our favor. I mean, I respect it. Everybody has their own stance of how they want to deal with things. I think you should always operate from an optimistic stance versus a pessimistic stance. It's treacherous out there, so you got to be willing to, take a couple bumps and bruises. And if you're not, and you don't see it being worth it, then don't do it. But it's so easy just to communicate. And granted, I don't know where this person's from. You might be from a smaller city or a bigger city. You might be around, a certain type of female that makes things difficult for you. But the ability you have to get over that and communicate and just naturally give more than you take as far as in communication style, I think you'll do well. But technically, you don't have to do any of this. You don't have to shoot your shot. You could just there's dating apps for a reason. You could do everything from your house. I just think there's going to be situations where you may want that skill and it'll benefit you if you do. But if you're not getting respected, I'm firm on that. As soon as you get disrespected, get on. As soon as you feel disrespected, out of there. Just a couple other comments that I found that were pretty funny. Let's check these out. Here we go. Creepy, not creepy. Attractiveness is a big thing. It's definitely a big thing. But even with old boy is creepy, I mean, he may be balding. You can't really do nothing about that unless you go to Turkey. You don't have to. He could his teeth look a little yellow, but I don't know if that's just the like how the sun is on him. But clothes, you could fix clothes, you could smell good. There's plenty of unattractive men, overweight, whatever the standards are that women have that do well. You look at the average man who has a child who's outside with a woman, they're not these super attractive men. And granted, the women not only match them but are even more attractive. So the idea of you having to be perfect to get something to me is most people are average. We're all average. So I don't see that as the only way. It's just how you approach. What do you say? Can you make someone laugh? It's the intangible things. If you're good at the intangibles, you're going to be a leg ahead. Your ability to be charismatic, Riz, um, is something you can't buy, something you have to work on. It's like the gym. Someone works hard. Actually, let me take that back because peptides and everything is a thing now. But yeah, your ability to, I think charisma is the great equalizer. It's even better than money. Money works, it'll keep, but so many people have gotten stolen by somebody who has nothing. But let's see. High value men don't need to approach women. Women will approach them. Correct. But a certain type of woman, a woman that is looking for something, a money woman, maybe someone who's looking for some type of value from you. I think the best approach, well, maybe that's a misconception. I think high value and money are always get connected. You could be a high value man with money and never show or give an inkling because no one really knows what money looks like. I mean, you do and you don't, but if someone's walking down the street, you wouldn't know if they were a cajillionaire, billionaire, millionaire, whatever, unless there were subtle signs to show you that. So if we take away that, what makes you high value, I can kind of agree with that, but still your ability to make someone laugh, your ability to, because when you strip away everything and it's just rawness, just you and this other person, how does that work down the road? How can you communicate things to keep people interested, keep things fun? There's just skill sets. Where's your voice at? How do you sound? Can you lead in a way that makes someone want to follow? Are you intelligent? Do you know things? Can you keep the conversation moving? Just all these things.